Today I watched 5 of my coworkers get laid off from a job that they've been working for 20 plus years.
Imagine you work at a big tech company and you've been there like 5-6 years. Your salary was, let's say, $180,000. Okay, now they lay you off and they're like, you know what? We could just repost this position for like $140.
Nobody is safe from layoffs. If you work for a large corporation, at some point, you may be on the list.
So I met someone yesterday who got laid off from Oracle, and I asked them, were there any signs that this was coming? And they said that their boss had asked them to start training an AI bot on how to help them do their job.
Those 9 million drivers' careers that you have will be out of work, conceivably. Talking about being honest about the situation.
Yeah, I think, again, it goes to physical AI as well, right? So I think 20 years from now, you can imagine that those 9 million will be 20 million AVs, maybe.
What do the 9 million people do?
I don't know. Now, we are expanding the kind of work that's available on the platform, partially as a result of it, right? We used to be the only work is driving. Now there's delivering. You can have shoppers as well. I think it'll be a little while at least before you get AI shoppers. And now actually we have a team called Uber AI Solutions that allows people to train these same agents and train AI agents and AI models and do all kinds of knowledge-based work on their phone as well to kind of extend the kind of work that we offer humans on our platform and different opportunities for them to make money. So we are extending the platform, and then the question is how much of the platform gets automated.
Hand on heart, though, it does appear that unemployment is going to be significantly increased in a world of AI, especially we just imagine this sort of continual rate of improvement. I just can't.
You would have, unless, again, historically in societies, new kinds of jobs have come up.
Knowledge jobs, physical jobs.
Yeah, I mean,
but now we've disrupted both. That's
why there's a question here. I don't think it's going to be a big issue in the next 5 years, but when you go 5+ years, it's going to become more of an issue for society.
720,000 jobs gone. Think about that for a second. Hundreds of thousands of people woke up expecting a normal workday, and by the end of it, many of them were unemployed. Now here's the question nobody wants to answer. Is this just another round of layoffs? Or is something much bigger happening behind the scenes? Every few days we hear another company cutting jobs. Tech companies, retail, finance, manufacturing. Nobody seems completely safe anymore. And if you're sitting at home thinking, well, my job is secure, that's exactly what many of these workers believed just a few weeks before receiving an email that changed everything. Some people blame artificial intelligence. Others blame the economy. And some say companies are simply trying to increase profits. But who's actually telling the truth? Here's the funny part. Companies call it restructuring. Employees call it, I can't pay my rent. Same situation, 2 completely different names. Imagine your boss saying, congratulations, you're free to explore new opportunities. Bro, just say I'm fired. Let's look at what's really going on.
Today I watched 5 of my coworkers get laid off from a job that they've been working for 20 plus years. Each and every one of them have 20 plus years experience. And the company just let them go just like that. Now these are hard-working, dedicated, loyal employees. So it just goes to show, man, you can do everything right and stuff still goes wrong. It just proves once again, you can't control what happens to you. All you can control is how you respond. And that's what's most important. You can let it break you or you can be prepared. Discipline is not about today. Discipline is about being prepared for days like this. I know things could get bad at any given moment, any given time. Nobody's special. Nobody's getting out of this thing with a perfect, spotless life. Hard stuff is going to happen. Like messed up stuff is going to happen to good individuals. And this is why I want to do hard things consistently, man, because that callous, building up that callous and getting your mindset right to face hard situations is what's going to push us through when things get really difficult. And because things will get difficult. This is the life we live. Y'all be blessed in the mighty name of Jesus, man. Eat the crust first. Do the hard things. Be prepared when life hits you in the mouth.
First, it was work from home, then it was return to office, then it was layoffs, and then it was a lot of pips, and now it's actually forced retirements. Yes, this is actually true. Microsoft is asking employees to retire if they meet the criteria. There is literally a formula that any employee at Microsoft can use to see if they qualify. No, I'm literally not kidding. This is the formula. So if your age plus your years at the company equals 2 or greater than 70, then you qualify for the retirement. Let's say if you're 50 years old and your years at the company is 21, then that number is 71. This number means that you actually qualify for forced retirement, or aka layoff, whatever you want to call it. Honestly, people are actually scared. I've seen a few posts on LinkedIn from people who qualify for this and they're debating if they should take it or not. The fear that they have that if they don't take it, they will be on a layoff list later. Anyway. For many companies who are currently doing voluntary layoffs, my last company actually did do the voluntary layoff and many people took it. But this is a new one. And I wonder if after Microsoft, a lot of other companies are going to follow, specifically companies like Google and Amazon, who tend to have employees who have been there for a long time.
Imagine you work at a big tech company and you've been there like 5-6 years. Your salary was, let's say, 180,000. Okay, now they lay you off and they're like, you know what? We could just repost this position for like 140, and we just save $40,000. Like, one of the reasons that I love TikTok so much, we are getting information on the real stuff that's happening. This commenter is saying, yeah, there's layoffs and then rehires so that they can reset the salary bases much lower. That doesn't really surprise me. But there are people in the comments who are like, yes, this happened to me. Essentially, I was a boomerang employee. Like, I was laid off and then asked to come back. And when I was asked to come back to the exact same job, it was less pay. If any of us were in that position where you lose a job and you lose your income, and then they ask you to come back, like, it's a tough market. I'm sure that most of us would be like, okay, I'll come back. To then also be like, okay, great. It's the exact same job. We're just going to pay you 20% less. Why? Because we can.
Here's where things get interesting. Many companies say these layoffs are necessary to survive. But critics ask one simple question. If business is doing so badly, why are some executives still getting huge bonuses? That's the debate happening everywhere. Some workers spent 10, 15, even 20 years at the same company. One meeting, one email, one goodbye, that's all it took. And then everyone on social media suddenly becomes an economist. One person writes, AI stole all the jobs. Another says, the economy is collapsing. A third person says, don't worry, everything is fine. Nobody agrees on anything. Meanwhile, regular workers are just wondering how they'll pay next month's bills. The scary part isn't only today's layoffs. It's that many people are asking, could more industries be next?
I have applied to probably about 600 to 800 jobs in the last 3 months.
800?
I was part of the Tesla layoffs, and I cannot find work. I got a job offer last week and I negotiated, and just like that they rescinded my job offer. So let's talk about what's going on with the market. Why can't I find a freaking job? Like, I have the skills and the experience. I don't know, but now after 3 months it's taken a toll on me. Give me some advice, guys. Any help? I mean, I've redone my resume. I've put it through ChatGPT. I have altered my resume every single time I'm applying for certain jobs, trying to use keywords. What the hell is going on? Mind you, guys, I worked at Tesla alongside equipment engineers, reliability engineers. I have the experience. I have the skill set. I've gone to school. I have my degree. I have 2 different degrees, and I'm working on my 3rd one. The job market right now sucks. If you have any tips, any advice, anything that I can do to try, I mean, I've applied out of state.
Wow.
Gosh.
Let me hold your hand while I say this. Nobody is safe from layoffs. If you work for a large corporation, at some point, you may be on the list. I know people who have been promoted January 1st laid off January 15th. I know people who have given their heart and soul for many, many years have gotten laid off. So if you take nothing from what I say, take this. Make sure you have other income options and start.
Chief economist at the Navy Credit Union said it was, quote, shocking to see 720,000 people stop looking for work entirely. 720,000 people left the labor force in one single month. That's how many people left, 720,000. Mike Reed, head of the U.S. economics at RBC, called it, quote, a massive exodus. People try to blame this on retiring baby boomers, but the biggest drop was in prime age workers, 25 to 54 years old. These are not retirees.
Today.
Microsoft, 9,000 jobs. Cisco, Intel, Sony Interactive Entertainment, Indeed, and Glassdoor. TikTok, Oracle, Advance Health, Optimum Care, Sarepta Therapeutics, manufacturing jobs laying off are Bosch's, Retiligen plant, Whirlpool Corporation, General Dynamics, Dyson, Lucid Motors. If you did not know, we have over 7 million people unemployed and only like 6.88 million jobs available. In addition, only 57,000 jobs were created in June 2026, and April and May job creation was revised down negative 74,000 for those 2 months. So all of these layoffs and the amount of jobs available and the amount of jobs being created are a direct sign of our economy collapsing. If people don't have jobs, they cannot pay their bills. That's why you're seeing home foreclosures, credit card delinquency, student loan delinquency, auto loan delinquency, and it's going to get much worse, ladies and gentlemen. We are on day 126 of the Iran war. We're spending like there's no end in sight, and these are going to be very bad times. Buckle up, do the best that you can to, number one, do a budget and plan out your spending ahead of time. Monitor your spending as you go, adjust your spending as you go. Try to have a 6-month emergency fund. If you are currently working and you already have those, please pay off your debt or move it to a 0% interest card. Interest rates are going to be going up because of inflation.
So I met someone yesterday who got laid off from Oracle, and I asked them, were there any signs that this was coming? And they said that their boss had asked them to start training an AI bot on how to help them do their job. And then when they tried to log into their office that morning, they couldn't log in. And they opened up their email and they saw a notice from HR that they had been laid off with a small severance package. So I guess the moral of this story is, if your boss asks you to start training an AI bot to help you with your job, do a really job at that. Really train the worst AI bot in the world to do a really terrible job at your job. And then take as much family medical leave as you can.
So where does all of this leave us? The future of work is changing faster than most people expected. Technology is evolving. Businesses are changing. And workers have to adapt. Maybe layoffs will slow down. Maybe they won't. Nobody knows for sure. But one thing is certain. The world of work isn't the same as it was 5 years ago. And here's one last funny thought. The job posting says, we're looking for someone with 10 years of experience. For software that was invented only 3 years ago. Makes perfect sense, right? Now I want to hear from you. Do you think these layoffs are mainly because of AI, because of the economy, or because companies are trying to cut costs? Share your opinion in the comments, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more real-world news and commentary.